Hello and Assalamualaikum. My name is Nurul Nadia binti Jamaludin, and today I would like to present a paper called The Influence of Social and Cognitive Factors in the Development of Legal Socialization, Case Study Among Muslims in Selangor. The author of the paper is myself, Nurul Nadia binti Jamaludin, Dr. Musliha Hasbullah, Dr. Rajana Kaha, and Dr. Zarina Arshad. Four of us comes from Department of Human Development and Family Studies, Faculty of Human Ecology, Universiti Putra, Malaysia. Let me begin the presentation with the issue of the study, which is non-compliance behavior. Non-compliance behavior is the example of law-abiding behavior which related to development of legal socialization. In Islamic family law, there are legal obligations in providing family maintenance to wife, children, and even to ex-wife, such as nafkah mutu'ah and nafkah iddah. However, even though there are legal obligations that has been enforced in Islamic family law to provide family maintenance to wife, children, and even to ex-wife, the legal obligation is often being neglected. As we can see here, this is three example of cases regarding the non-compliance behavior towards the legal obligation that published or shared by our local newspaper. And as stated here by Ismail and Sulong in 2020, there are 6,754 cases of family maintenance was recorded from year 2017 until 2019, and among this number of cases, Selangor is recorded as the highest number of cases. So what is legal socialization? Legal socialization is a process of internalization of law, formation of belief, attitude, and behavior towards law. And legal socialization is a form of socialization process, which means socialization process is a root of development of legal socialization. Why? Because the definition of socialization itself is a process of learning attitude, belief, and behavior as general, but legal socialization is a process which it specifically focuses on individuals' attitude, belief, and behavior towards law and legal system. And this is why law-abiding behavior is related to an individual's development of legal socialization. And there are few components of legal socialization which it represents a person's perception, belief, and attitude towards law. So there are four components of legal socialization, which is legitimacy of the law, procedural justice, legal cynicism, and moral disengagement. Legitimacy of the law is a person's agreement, perception, judgment towards law and legal institution. In other words, it's a person's perspective towards law and legal authority, whether they view the law or legal authority as legit or should be complied with or not. And procedural justice, it is a fair legal procedure that practiced by the legal authority. And legal cynicism. Legal cynicism is a skeptical or cynical attitude towards law and legal authority, including legal institution. Legal cynicism will make people doubt the functionality of law and legal institution. And for those who have high level of legal cynicism, um, they lose their sense of relying to legal institution uh, to help them in fight with criminal that happen surrounding them. And next we have moral disengagement. Moral disengagement is an unethical behavior that may directly harm other people, either physically, mentally, or psychologically. And there are eight mechanism of moral disengagement, which always using by people to justify or to reason their unethical behavior, such as non-compliance behavior. So what are the factors that influencing development of legal socialization? So according to previous literature, there are social and cognitive factors social and cognitive factors are two different factors that play a role in influencing development of legal socialization, which some studies argue on the importance of social factors, but some studies argue on the importance of cognitive factors. But Cohen and White in year 1986, they recommended to study these two factors as a completing factors rather than treat it as a competing factors. And this recent past few years, there are few studies that have argued or have explained how social and cognitive factors play important role in development of legal socialization. So domains of social factor is social experience, social interaction, and social environment. Meanwhile, cognitive factors is consists of cognitive structure, which it involves individuals' ability to make moral judgment before the persons deciding to engage in a behavior. So this is how, as we can see in the slide, this is how social factor and cognitive factor do complete each other in playing role to influence developments of legal socialization, which is while we're dealing with other people, we receive information through social interaction and social experience. And the received information will be conveyed or will pass to cognitive structure, which uh, cognitive structure will interpret or internalize the information and form the meaning of the behavior. So it will be the guidance for us how to act or how to behave in a future as a response to a situation. As for research methodology, qualitative case study has been chosen as methodology for this study, and for the data collection, we conduct semi-structured interview with each informant in one-to-one session interviews, and as qualitative case study enables us as a researcher to select a small or limited number of subjects of the study. This study involves 4 informants, which consists of 2 female and 2 male with 2 different marital status, which is married and divorced. And as we can see in the table characteristic of informants, we listed informant's marital status. This is because by using purposive sampling method, um, we choose the informants based on their marital status, either divorced and married. And other than that, we choose the informants based on their willingness to be interviewed and either they are within reach by researcher or not. So this is 6 interview questions that was developed based on our objective of study, which is the first one, to explore how social and cognitive factors play role as completing factors in influencing individuals' development of legal socialization, and second, to identify or to explore the effect of legal socialization on compliance behavior towards Islamic family law. To analyze the collected data, we use thematic analysis, which each interview has been recorded and the data has been transcribed accordingly. And then a coding process was done whereby we highlight the phrases or the sentences from the interview text which describe the idea of the research topic. And then from the code that has been created, we generate a theme by combining the several codes into a single theme. And then before we proceed with the writing, we have to review the themes again just to make sure the themes that has been generated is really represents the actual data. So here are the results of the study, which is the first themes that we found from the data analysis is social and cognitive roles in the socialization process. As we can see, all informants highlight the importance of agents of socialization, which is parents and uh, religion. As we can see, informant 2, informant 3, and informant 4 mention how they view, how they see their parents or specifically their father as a model figure or model behavior in comply with the Islamic family law. And as I have been mentioned before, while we're dealing with other people through social interaction and having social experience with other people, we receive the information by that. And the received information will be conveyed or will be passed to the cognitive structure, and the cognitive structure will play their role to internalize or interpret the information and form the meaning of the behavior. And as the results, it will produce our action or behavior as a response to a situation in the future. So as individual learns by what they see, by what they hear through the social domains, this is why the cognitive aspect is also needed in the process of development of legal socialization. As Stated by Kirk in year 2016, Kirk and Masuda in year 2011, individuals are easy to be influenced by what other person say and by what other person think. And as stated by informant 2 in our interview session, she believes that by having social interaction with her sons, it will help her sons to develop or to form a well understanding about the Islamic family law, a well understanding about the legal obligation to provide family maintenance as enforced in Islamic family law. Why? This is because uh, social social interaction among individuals will make them be able to share the same meaning, the same value, and on behavior towards the law. And other than parents, religion aspect also has been mentioned as the agent of socialization process, because in order to deliver religious knowledge and values, it also involves cognitive structure to internalize the information received through the socialization with religion. The second themes that we found from the data analysis is the awareness about rights of a wife or ex-wife and children in Islamic family law. Um, Based on the data, all informants, especially male informants, shows a good understanding about the legal obligation. As we can see in the slide, informant 3 and informant 4 demonstrates their awareness and their understanding about the legal obligation uh, to provide family maintenance as enforced in Islamic family law. Other than male informants, female informants also express their awareness of their rights, their awareness of the importance in complying the legal obligation to provide family maintenance. And aligned with the understanding of the legal obligation to provide family maintenance, um, all informants, especially male informants, manifest their understanding by complying with the law, as they mentioned before, that they always look up to their father when it comes to uh, compliance behavior towards the legal obligation to provide family maintenance. And based on this, the finding shows that by having good understanding of the law, an individual will be willing to comply with the legal obligation. And the third themes that we found from the data analysis is direct and non-direct experience of legal procedure. And we found that among the four informants, only two informants, which is informant 4 and informant 2, have direct experience dealing with court procedure, which is Sharia court. And according to informant 4, which is male informants with divorce as his marital status, uh, he explained that the easy and quick process of legal procedure made him feel comfortable and made him feel comfortable and easy to comply with the legal obligation. It helps him to um, feel comfortable to comply with the post-divorce maintenance, to provide post-divorce maintenance as claimed by his ex-wife. Meanwhile, according to informant 2, it's maybe due to different time of time or different year when the cases has brought to the Sharia court. Um, Informant 2, which is a female informant with divorce as her marital status, she explained that the past legal procedure is quite complicated and it took a long time to be settled. As for non-direct experience of the court procedure, another informant, which is informant 1, female informant with married as her marital status, she explained that her legitimacy and her belief to the functionality of the legal institution, her legitimacy and her belief towards the law and legal institution is developed based on what she heard, what she sees um, through her friends and through the media, what has been reported by the media. And this is aligned with a statement from Fagan and Tyler in year 2005, whereby this study argues that public judgment towards legal institutions, specifically Sharia court and Islamic district office, is very important to promote compliance behavior towards Islamic family law among Muslim society. From the results of the study, we could conclude that regardless of marital status, all informants, female informants and male informants, four of them demonstrates a very well understanding and awareness on the legal obligation to provide family maintenance. Four of them are aware why it is important for us to comply with the legal obligation to provide family maintenance. And in order for us to develop compliance behavior, and in order for us to develop positive law abiding behavior, we need to have a positive development of legal socialization. And in order to develop positive legal socialization among Muslim society, we need a positive social influences. And as we receive information by having through social uh, experience, by having social interaction, by while dealing with other people, the information will be supplied to our cognitive structure, and the information will be processed by our cognitive structure, and it will form the meaning of behavior, and it will form a morally friendly behavior. Then from that, it will be a, a guide for us on how to behave as a response to a situation in the future. So this is how a social factor and cognitive factor play role as a completing factor in influencing individuals' development of legal socialization. And from the study, we found that legal socialization uh, has effect on people's compliance behavior towards Islamic family law. So that's all for my presentation, and thank you for listening.